My name is Joe Kelly, and I am the morning show host at KRMG Radio here in Tulsa. And for the last several years, I have made a career out of interviewing Kathy Taylor professionally on the radio. So I suppose it's only fitting that I spend some time with you today to interview you about your time as mayor.
That's what I thought, and I appreciate you doing it.
Thank you very much. Let's get started with kind of a broad-based question for our 38th mayor of Tulsa, and that is, what do you see as your biggest accomplishment?
Well, I really think it is the approach I took towards government. My background, as you know, is business. It wasn't politics. And I had been fortunate enough to serve as Secretary of Commerce for Governor Henry at the state level, and I saw that the business approach that I took from my decades in business could be applied to government. So every issue that we looked at the City of Tulsa, we looked at with a business approach, both from the standpoint of analyzing the data and also from the standpoint of understanding that the solution doesn't always lie within the halls of City Hall, but in fact there is a broad group of citizens and businesses and partners that you can bring to the table to solve problems and provide services for the citizens of the City of Tulsa.
You reached out to a lot of different community groups, business leaders, a lot of public-private partnership type programs. Give us a couple examples of those.
Well, I think two of the greatest examples. One is the Gilcrease Museum, an amazing treasure given to the City of Tulsa, but we never had really the right financing to run it. And it's not a core service. Operating a museum is a very unique skill set. And so I reached out to the University of Tulsa and their president then, Stead Upham, and we entered into a partnership for TU to operate that museum. It has been successful beyond our most amazing dreams. In fact, the chemistry department is helping work with the curatorial staff, and they've now endowed a Thomas Gilcrease chair that is studying documents in that museum that have never ever before been reviewed and researched. So that was an important partnership to really leverage that asset. The other one was our golf courses. First budget year, we had a budget deficit, and I found that we were subsidizing our golf courses to the tune of $1 million. Yet we weren't providing some basic services. Our streets were in disrepair. We were closing swimming pools. And I said, no, give me a zero-based budget, which meant we closed some golf courses. That turned out to be not a very popular decision. And so I went to the citizens that were upset, and I said, let's form a committee and look at other solutions. And we ultimately brought in a professional golf course operator, Billy Casper. Our golf courses now have rounds up, complaints down, and we're not subsidizing them at all.
What do you see as some of the biggest challenges that are facing the next mayor of Tulsa?
Well, I think continuing to appropriately finance infrastructure. We just passed, during my administration, the largest investment in street infrastructure ever in our city's history. We did it by impaneling a great broad citizens committee and getting citizen engagement. That education of citizens has to continue. And so the biggest challenge is operating government efficiently, but continuing to educate our citizens on what government is doing, what its needs are, and getting them engaged in the process. Citizen engagement, I think, is the key to having a successful, healthy community, whether it's revitalizing downtown as a neighborhood or revitalizing our schools, getting our citizens healthy. Having citizens at the table, knowing that their voice is heard, is the challenge that I think every mayor has to listen to.
Before we let you go, we've talked about some important issues, education and funding and private public partnerships. Certainly during the course of your administration, you've had some fun, exciting, unique, cool experiences.
Well, I have. I've had some amazing experiences. Garth Brooks saved my life. When we opened the BOK Center, a flag almost fell on my head, and he gallantly stepped up to keep that from falling on my head.
I'm sure she's not exaggerating that at all.
No, he saved my life. I'm confident. And then I got to welcome Paul McCartney to Tulsa in the only arena tour of his latest tour this year. I got to personally welcome him to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was an amazing opportunity for me and fun.
Well, I'm sure this brings to a close my not only discussion with you here today, but my discussions with you in an official capacity at all, as your administration is about to conclude. Tulsa's 38th Mayor, Kathy Taylor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.